Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon and good day Puan Zurah. Meet again. Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. I know that it's quite some sort like a very hectic schedule. I can't believe that you try to juggle between work and also study. However, I'm trying to play my part by assisting you and providing you a recorded video on this entrepreneurial leadership. So this week we're going to discuss about sustainability and entrepreneurship. As you are aware that nowadays, not nowadays, but we really concerned about sustainability for the past 5 or 10 years. The main concern is about the future. People looking forward to achieve a better place to stay, a better place to work, and also a a better shared space among us. And I believe that with this sort of fundamental argument, we are looking at some arrangement between the leaders to foresee the importance of sustainability uh, alongside seeking for um, monetary benefit of doing business and all that. So these are the outlines of my presentation or lectures today. The myth of infinite growth. We try to sustain addressing the sustainability and also what we call it addressing the sustainability and sustainability challenge and sustainability best practices. So somehow we live in myth we live by. Every society clings to a myth by which it lives. So in a certain way, we are experiencing a philosophy of living in a certain environment that we are comfortable with. This is what we call it the general principle of living. Ours is the midst of infinite growth, and we want to make sure that we are in the part or we are in the cycle of growth. People interested in, you know. Ada yang kata kita tak perlukan kemajuan, but in a way they look for it from day to day. And leaders also acknowledge that there is unlimited knowledge sources. Okay, in the age of well-connected world, we are not exhaustive in terms of sources. Okay, ni yang kita tengok, we can access the resources, the knowledge at our fingertips. Ini kita. And science will solve all world's problems. And recently, after 3 years of pandemic, some countries, I think including the United States, declared that they are free from COVID, from this coronavirus. We are thankful for that. However, we also realize, at the same time, we realize that the pandemic, the management of the pandemic, and with the God assistance, God willing, still we managed to do it within less than expected. Last time I revisited the concept of low touch economy and realized that they foresee a certain consultant, a group of consultants, a board of innovation to be exact, says that there's a possibility the pandemic will prolong until 2026, 3 years ahead. But Alhamdulillah, Shukur, we managed to do it. Why? Due to the fact that all resources has been gathered and be centered along solving these problems. Okay. And we do have unlimited production capacity as well. For the fact that certain countries, for example, China, they have enormous resources and enormous production capacity due to the evolution and the advancement that we experience in this industrial revolution. We witness that there's no limit for our production capacity. That's the maximum that we could imagine. Yeah, however, there's still what we call a hindrance or parameter for this, whereby a shortage of labor and cost of doing or producing something is something that is we need to think about. So historically, we can see we still experience a rapid growth in our economy. Very interesting. You can see during this 19th or 20th or 21st century, 21st century especially, someone can imagine that the value of the most valued company is somehow equivalent to a country. People say that Apple, Amazon, and few other companies, the giants, should be given a chance to acquire and manage a country. Believe to manage the country because they have a very high financial capabilities to do so. Either the success of either they're going to be successful in doing so is another things to ponder. But dari segi capacity mereka mampu. For example, a small country yang require only less than a billion, less than ni untuk run as a government. Some people said that they should surrender the country to these giants. Global economic activity has increased by a factor of 40 since the start of the revolution. So the multiply effect of this kind is economic driven by market, driven by private sectors, enormous, besar, dan cepat. The myth of infinite resources. We are in not globalization anymore. We are one. We are borderless, and we are well connected. That's the argument, I think. Well connected is the keyword. Nowadays, we acknowledge the different time zone, but still we can communicate well in terms of that. Cross-border exchange of what's happened, goods, people, culture, and also capital. Okay, this element moving rapid, very rapid. Exchange of hands happen. I beg your pardon for using that, but I don't mean the perdagangan manusia, but you know that things is moving very, very fast. And cross-border, more importantly, cross-border exchange of information. Ini pun penting juga. Because information, knowledge, data is essence or very important element in this. And we also witness the dramatic increase in production capacity. Like I mentioned before, due to the fact that people are very efficient in doing production, they can talk about any capacity because the production is not major setback, is not human resource anymore. They find ways to overcome this using automated machines, AI, and also everything is controlled. Almost everything is controlled by the system, and they has been doing it very efficiently. And also, we can also witness a lot of product try to penetrate and try to make sure that they are known to people that they are, that were foreign before. Okay, so everyone try to expand the market. Product from developed country, especially capital goods, manage to do this. Okay, so people are aware that this product is made for them, and they are just waiting for the product to be displayed, or what we call it virtually displayed before their own eyes. Then they have to make a choice. They have to make choice. More than we can process and consume. Some facilities, services, product is oversupplied to us. Okay, oversupplied to us. This is where we see that are we really in need of that product, services, and all that? People say that it's good for economy to have continuous or constant new products offering. However, the major motivation is to replace, right? To replace the existing product or services, quote unquote, compete with that product. More than we can process and consume. Again, how many apps for our smartphones? And we realize in our daily life we only have been using about less than 10 apps, But due to the fact that we have good capacity smartphone, so that we think that it's better for us to be ready or to download it, download the app so that we can use it in a seamless manner. And then the age of consumerism also expanding. Okay. While I'm explaining this, why I'm explaining this? Because we need to observe the trend, and perhaps the trends of consumerism, production, technology access can lead and perhaps could lead us to sustainable way of life. So the reality check here, the natural resources is becoming scarcity, becoming scarce and being depleted at a record rates. Some resources and most of the resources are not irreplaceable. Once we use it, once we mine for it, mine for them, we cannot do it. Gold, certain, you know, um, they are unable to do it. In the next 40 years, the pressure on Earth ecosystem will increase dramatically. And we observe, okay, recently or now we are facing a very hot condition. And we expect to experience El Nino or something that in June. And why this happened? Why didn't happen before? It is because the Earth ecosystem becoming less stable. Becoming less stable. And 200% demand, increase in demand from the energy consumption. It's not surprise because you can see, you can observe more space have been explored in order to establish a settlement or housing area. And what more, if there is a low rise or high rise, I beg your pardon, high rise building, definitely it becoming more crowded and demand more energy, in this case, electricity. So 300% numbers of cars in the world is expected to triple. Okay, people like to travel. People need to travel, and they prefer to travel in style, in a comfy manner. Size of world economy is expected to quadruple. Okay, this is the thing. Okay. 90% of the large fish in the seas has been plundered. There's a seas conspiracy on this one. Okay, so this is the fact. All this. So the conclusion that we try to draw from that one is our life becoming more unsustainable. And the leaders, corporate leaders, public leaders need to have some awareness about this one. It might be biased for me to say that the main aim of private sector of the business is to attain and also to increase their profitability. Yeah, it's not wrong, but not at the expense of some contribution to the unsustained approach of doing something. The fashion and the speed in which keep exploiting the earth is simply unsustainable in the long. Run. 2 times Earth. By 2050, we'll be using twice as many natural resources as the Earth can replenish. So there will be less resources available for us to live. And the population is keep growing. I think the formula of 2 times Earth is be speed up or being more aggressive up to 4 times Earth. Okay. So this is where we need the sustainable approach or sustainable thinking among our leaders. Okay. First release was discussed in 1980s. It led by the United Nations and focused on critical issues, environment and the development. Focus on critical issues of environment and development and strengthen international cooperation. Very important. And we really concerned about the food security as well. Sustainable development that we are after defined as development which meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Okay. The world is using the equivalent of 1.5 planet to support their Earth. Okay, so this is alarming for the leaders. That's why you can see the World Economic Forum that often held in Davos, Switzerland, gives a fixed agenda about sustainability and also how world will be affected if some third trends still continuing. For example, the use of plastic, the use of petrochemical products that are hard to, it's hard to um, what we call it, diuraikan, okay, dissolve and will stay in the form of petrochemical for thousand years. Very important. Our consumption of the Earth's natural resources is depleting the planet's ability to replenish itself to sustain its own. So we are dependent on the natural source of power to replenish our Earth. So our current challenges, how to achieve real GDP growth again. So these challenges are for the leaders. How to cope with uneven income distribution, how we manage unlimited space, how to deal with rapid aging population, and how to increase social cohesion and becoming more self-efficient, and more importantly is actually to have a low dependency on fuel or fossil fuel. So the responsibility of the leaders is to find the right balance between improvement of lifestyle and preserving natural resources and ecosystem. So we should strive to maintain a delicate balance between our need to improve lifestyle and feeling of well-being on one hand and preserving natural resources ecosystem, which we and future generation depends on the other hand. Okay. So does it mean we are sustainable? Finding the right balance, is it we are sustainable? We keep on provoking ourselves, because somehow is is appropriate to do so. So okay. So the sustainable challenge is where we try to balance between well human being, economic vitality, and environmental protection. This is the main task of the leader to open up the eyes and also looking at this very holistic point of view. Now, the point that I tried to argue here is while we are looking for profit, we are actually trying to balance it with sustainable as well. So the unsustainable business model never pays in the end. Okay, at the end they will backfire it. An outdated approach to business and value creation, companies have overlooked the well-being of the customer, the depletion of natural resources vital to business, viability of key suppliers, and economic distress. So new leadership calls for new approach of conducting business. Visionary leaders think sustainable. So the visionary leaders is a part of what we call it the higher tier of leaders. And entrepreneurial leaders must be part of this journey as well. Sustainable entrepreneurship. Okay, perhaps this understanding will give some sort of ways of thinking among the leaders. Sustainable entrepreneurship business with a cause where world problems are turned into business opportunity by deployment of sustainable innovation with the goal of exploring, developing innovation to solve sustainability related problems, organization creative out of the box and business structure and model, process innovative and eco-friendly circular output social ecological value. Okay. So this is the evolution of responsibility. We see the embracement of sustainable entrepreneurship taking place. Okay. And all in all, this is our focus. Planet, people, and profit under SDG. So value creation, good governance, societal contribution, and environmental integrity is part of what we see. So Pan, I think that's all. The rest, I think you can, yeah, let me explain a bit of this one. New form of preneurs that we are looking, ecopreneurs, socialpreneurs, creativepreneurs, and globalpreneurs. Ecopreneurs, we brand it as ecological entrepreneurs, commercial ventures geared towards solving ecological and environmental problems. Yeah, this is very important. Yeah, I think you are also part of ecopreneurs that you involved in helping others to get back on their feet in order to make a sustained lifestyle. This will turn into a tree after you die. It's very sad to say. Ecopreneur waste separation exports recyclable product and paper, plastic, and also aluminum. This is ecopreneur that we are looking. Socialpreneurs, social entrepreneurs with innovative business solution to society's most pressing problem, social problems. Yeah, yeah. This is the icon. Banker to the poor, Muhammad Yunus. Yeah. Socialpreneurs again try to solve this problem of fruit problem. Yeah. Creativepreneurs, one who undertake the creation and production and distribution of original creative work is able to create wealth through an established business venture. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Creativepreneurs. Okay. Globalpreneurs that involve in trade. Okay, point. That's all from me. It's not what we call it, but I think I've viewed philosophically. All right. Thank you, Pan. See you around. Assalamualaikum and thank you.